Hi, today I want to talk to you about why you should start using VS Code even if you are not a programmer. I'm not a programmer myself, but as I get more and more into the use of large language models, especially things like Hermes agents, I find VS Code to be extremely useful just because it provides the context within the single window uh, in the same software. So first of all, what is VS Code? Uh, like I mentioned, I'm not really a coder myself, so it's better that we ask a large language model. As you can see, already asked. This is Google AI. Yeah, that's actually a wrong. That's a typo. VS Code. VS Code, which is short for Visual Studio Code, is a free open source based code editor developed by Microsoft that runs on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. I'm using a Mac OS, a MacBook Air. So, but it really covers all the different types of operating systems. Uh, So basically, it is mostly useful to programmers. But yeah, this is some further illustrations. Actually, I don't really understand the difference between a text editor and a IDE or integrated development environment. But let's forget about all of this. Um, I'm pretty sure like you have been using um, like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or at least one of them. But for the most part, we have been using the chat interface. It's like a chat box where you input and then telling the large language model about your job, who you are, and even though it has some built-in memories, it still feels more like a chatbot than a productivity tool or something where you can use to create documents, change and update documents, and do in-depth analysis. I had this epiphany when I created a really in-depth PowerPoint slide like slide deck for my job is very analytical and involves a lot of documents. And I used Cloud Cowork to do the job. If you have heard about Cloud Cowork or know what it is, basically it is still Claude, based on the Claude, the model, but it works in a different way compared to just the Cloud.ai, the chatbot. The biggest difference is that it has bigger um, accessibility to your local folders. What you do is that you sort of point Claude to a folder, which is a working directory, and then Claude will be able to read and make changes within the directory. And that just makes the whole workflow and more useful, especially to like knowledge workers. So let me show you what it is. Like this is not about cloud cowork or cloud, but they are basically, to me at least, they are basically the workflow is the same. Right now, within a directory called AI 2026. I plan to explore more uh, about AI uh, from within this folder and do a lot of testings. So let's see where we are. You don't really have to know the command, but basically, I'm within a terminal within the VS Code. The way you uh, like use the terminal within VS Code is to press Control and backtick together. It'll be hidden or reappear. And the good thing about like using a terminal within VS Code is that automatically you can see the terminal starts from where you are, i.e., the path or the location of the folder, and you will be able to see like this is the empty folder, but once there are more like files within it, you will be able to not only see the structure of the directory, but also see previews and make changes directly here in this area. So that is very powerful. A terminal is just a way for you to like talk to the computer. Like we are looking at for the most part, knowledge workers interact with the computers with something called a GUI or graphic user interface. For example, this VS Code software, it has a GUI, it's visual, but a terminal is just a you input text with commands and still a different way for you to interact with the computer. But let's don't get bogged down into that. So we are currently uh, in the folder called AI 2026, and this is the path of the folder. And here, let's see what we have. It doesn't have anything. LS is just asking what's within the folder. If it has more files, we can see all the files and folders or subfolders within it. And as you can also see on the left panel, there's nothing in there. Uh, the reason, okay, I'm using Hermes recently or learning to use Hermes. Uh, and I can also do this, like initiate Hermes within terminal, within the VS Code. Let's give it a second. Hmm. It's normally faster than this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there it is. As you can see, I'm using DeepSeek V4 Flash as my default model within my AI 2026 folder. Let's ask Hermes to create something. Create a folder within my current directory with the name of today's date. Oh, by the way, I'm using Spokenly, which is here for dictation. And I use a local model. I don't want to pay. So a local model, a really small model, and it works for the most part. Let's see. Okay, Hermes told me it created 2026, June the 24th within my AI 2026. Uh, and automatically you can see the subfolder appears here underneath AI 2026 as well. So it's very visual. Um, okay. What else we can do? Create a poetry, um, like create a poetry in a test.txt file, and this can be like a random poetry, but in the style of Shakespeare. And what I want to do is that you should write about what? Write about the epic win of the New York Knicks in the recent NBA Finals, but in Shakespeare style. Now that's very, very silly. I don't know why I uh, asked DeepSeek to do that, but let's see what it does. And if it can create this test.txt file within the right correct folder. I don't think I mentioned where I wanted to save. Uh, oh, by the way, since like DeepSeek is working on this poetry, I also want to point out like all of these, it's just the workflow. Like basically you can see what the model is doing or the agent is doing there. Oh, it's finished. It's pretty fast, and automatically you can see this test.txt appearing here. Let's see what it is. Okay. This is what I was talking about. Okay, a sonnet of the Knicks triumph. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Hark from the courts of Gotham's ancient keep, where 30 years of famine held their sway. A band of warriors roused themselves from sleep and cast the Spurs' dark legions far away. When Bronson, yeah, I love Jalen Brunson, like a prince of old renown, did lead the charge with steady hand and eye, the crown at last did grace the Knickerbockers' crown, the ghost of 73 no more shall sigh. Whatever, it, it got to be honest, I'm not really familiar with Shakespeare's style of poetry, but it got the details right at least. Can you maybe rename this .txt file to something that catches the theme of this poetry, just to make it semantic? Yeah, I wanna just to give some meaning to the file. That's always a good idea. Let's see what it does. Okay, sonnet of Gotham crown.txt. So this is really interesting. As you can see, uh, like VS Code really like collects all the major information that you need within the same frame. You get a left panel, you get the main like content area. So it's not only limited to coding. Like this is just a .txt file. And he also opens this. I think he can like with the correct extensions. For example, this one, like preview, you can preview an HTML here, and also Rainbow CSV. You can open a CSV file also within VS Code. So it's really powerful. And the reason, like, I also want to reiterate the importance of using VS Code, regardless of like if you are a coder or not, is that like nowadays everybody's using at least one type of large language model or AI. And like for the reasons I have mentioned at the very beginning, we should stop treating the large language model as a chatbot. Instead, it's an assistant. You can ask it to create files, analyze files, and basically create things within a folder, just like what you would do, right? You click or double click uh, a file or open the Microsoft Word and you type in there, and then you save it into a directory or a folder. That's what you do. And that also should be how you work with an agent or a large language model. I still don't understand why people call it agent and the differences between an agent and a model, but we're getting there. So yeah, that's what I want to share with you. And like next, I want to publish a list of like my experience of using Hermes and setting up Hermes agents. I want to like my goal is to make it so useful that eventually uh, I can use it to create content that generates revenue. So I'm hoping I can get there, and I want to at least to bring some of y'all along the way, just for inspiration and share my experiences. Um, oh, by the way, my name is Michael. I hope you learned something from this video.